Ladies and gentlemen, Violent Games here. Today, I wanted to do a post-game discussion on Red Dead Redemption 2. This series is going to centralize around me literally talking about a game right after completing it. Like, I literally just beat the game less than 10 minutes ago, and I came up with this idea for the series while I was doing the final push in the story. I'm not gonna, spoil too much, but I want to give you guys my generalized experience of the game. This is going to be a very informal style of review video. Because, like, I want it to be in the moment. I don't want it to be a refined piece. I just want to, just word vomit like you just heard it from your best friend. So, Red Dead Redemption 2 is amazing. There's really no other way to put it. It is an outstanding game. It is a milestone in the open world genre. The world is so immersive. It just sucks you in with how engrossing the details are, down to the graphics just being amazing, looking amazing on any console. It's one of the most impressive looking games I've ever seen. The world looks real to me. Like, when you look at the trees and the wildlife and you go through the countryside, you feel like you're in America. I'm not even joking. The lighting is just so damn good that when I was walking through the streets of Saint Denis, I felt like I was in a real place. And when I went outside to do a nighttime drive sometime after that, it looked just like Saint Denis lighting did. Like, they really nailed this game as far as its world and its environment. And to put further emphasis on that immersion, this game constantly has a living, breathing world where things are constantly happening to different people, and different events are happening around you, gangs getting into fights, random events with strangers that can be goofy, a fortune-telling blind man. There's just so many different things that exist in Red Dead Redemption's open world to breathe life into it. It really is the most immersive open world game ever. Period. Now, with all that being said, guys, I love this game. And before I start tearing into what I'm about to tear into, like, understand that I love this game. Like, the narrative, by the way, before I even get into something negative, let's talk about the biggest positive of this game, and that is the story and the narrative. The narrative of this game, if you want me to, like, wrap it up simply in layman's terms, it's like the best Western ever. Like, I literally can't think of any other Western, like, type of medium that I've enjoyed as much. Like, really, Red Dead Redemption 2 is so good that it makes Red Dead Redemption 1 a better game. I'm not even kidding. When you beat this game, it makes the impact of Red Dead Redemption 1 even better. Like, it is absolutely outstanding. And you know what, briefly, let's talk about how I went through the game, because I went through the game really shows off how dynamic this game is and how well the world actually responds to you as a player. So yeah, fuck the negatives. Let's focus on what's positive right now, because I just beat this game and it was on a high note. So the way I played Red Dead Redemption 2, this is definitely off the cuff, is I kind of played the beginning kind of like a dick. Like, I ran around robbing people, just kind of messing with mechanics, trying to get some enjoyment out of the game, because if you guys didn't know, the first few hours of this game were like an uphill battle for me. I hated the gameplay, the aim assist was overturned, I finally tweaked my settings down to a style that I liked, and I discovered that they did include the first person mode in this game as well, and once I learned how to use the iron sights on my pistols and stuff in first person, I really did enjoy the gameplay more. With that being said, the gameplay is still pitifully mediocre, but we'll get into that. So, I played the beginning of the game like a total dick, and Arthur was kind of abrasive with people. He was very rude. He would, often be a dick in most conversations, and I thought that might just be the character, right? I didn't know that these were actually internal things that Arthur was dealing with, and the game responds to how you tweak the morality system. But later in my game, I became so abundantly wealthy as a result of robbing tons of trains and stuff and looting corpses and shit. Like, I just went ham. And I made a ton of money. And I, like, fully upgraded the camp. I literally had nothing to spend money on. So, I just wanted to start focusing on the story a little bit more. So, about halfway through the game, I started focusing on just the story, and in passing, I would constantly pay beggars, or people asking for money. And after doing this for a couple story missions, my morality completely turned around, And I didn't think anything of it at the time. I just ignored the morality system. I most often do in games. I just play games for fun. However, the entire tone of the game shifted. Arthur Morgan became a different person. He started speaking differently. He started having reservations about working with Dutch or working with debt collecting and stuff like that. His entire demeanor just completely changed in a way that felt organic. It really did. Like, the progression of Arthur Morgan playing completely organic. And the thing is later in the game, guys, this is incredible, and I really want to point this out. Multiple times, the game references that I was a dick when I started my playthrough. Multiple times, the game references that. It's like, you know, in the beginning, Arthur was this, but now he's that. And I'm like, that's really amazing. Oh my gosh, like, having a game respond to your choice in a way that feels natural is almost uncanny. Like, it always feels phoned in. It's like the red or blue choice, the good or evil choice. In this game, it like completely shifts the tone of the dialogue that is just so well written. Everyone feels real. The graphics are photorealistic. The way people's ears turn red when they hit the sunlight just right is like literally identical to what it is in real life. What I was trying to say before my brain completely farted out was that the game's story and narrative is just so powerful that it will grip you regardless of what choices you made in the game. Like, I highly believe that, and if you are that kind of person that likes to play these games and try to see what different outcomes you can get by making different choices, this game's going to have a lot of replay for you. So with everything kind of being said about the positive notes of Red Dead Redemption 2, let's talk about the negatives, because I feel like the negatives are just kind of crazy. I don't really understand why some of them exist. So they vary from different things. Like, first off, to cover the negative that everyone likes to talk about, let's talk about the quality of life issues. The fact that fast travel sucks. There's a lot of fucking tedium in Red Dead Redemption. There's a lot of horse riding. And at times, you just want to fucking skip it. It's so annoying. It feels like it's taking you away from, like, the engrossing action. And it's just padding. It really doesn't add anything to the game all the time. I mean, the horse riding works well, and it can be really fun and immersive when you want to experience something like that, but not every day do you want to play a game and have to wait to get to the gameplay. And downright, some of the missions in the game are fucking boring. Offensively fucking boring, to the point where I wonder if Rockstar has respect for my time. Where, like, for one example is, you have to take your ex-girlfriend on a date. I know, weird fucking context, right? And I literally sat down and had to watch an animated theater show. And it's amazing that they put all this detail into the game, but, like, it's not fucking fun to do these things. You should let us skip them if we want to. And you could say no, but I would have felt like an asshole to just fucking reject this chick. You know? Like, I would feel like a dick in the context of the story. And other things are like I mentioned the long ride-alongs with the horses being, like, obnoxious, and they're just way too much of them. But there's also scenes where you'll do things like fishing and shoveling shit, and it's like, these aren't fun. Like, I really, like, it almost made me want to just go around and kill everyone in town just to have the fun of fighting off the law. Like, I was so fucking bored doing some of these missions, guys, that it literally detracts from the game. Like, I have to call it out. Like, boring side missions aren't fun. Even if they add context to the story, even if they're relevant, I don't care. That's not fun gameplay to me. So that's just a personal gripe I have, in all honesty. Some of you might be more okay with it and thinking that it breaks up the pacing of the shooting galleries, but, like, I like the action. I really do prefer the action. I wish they would have leaned a little bit more on that. But the biggest sin that the game makes is just the mediocre fucking gameplay. We need to stop, like, as consumers, we need to stop giving Rockstar a free pass when it comes to shit gameplay. It's really unacceptable. From how phenomenal everything else in this game is to have lackluster, piss-poor gameplay. This would be one of the greatest games of all time if the gameplay felt right. But the thing is, the gameplay does not feel right. It just feels clunky and awkward most of the time. Controlling Arthur Morgan feels like controlling a dumber, slower version of yourself. It's really immersive in the way he moves and everything, but oh my god, I couldn't even stand the game in third person, guys. I couldn't. I tried playing it to see what that was like, and the movement is slowed down so much more in third person that it literally just made me sick, and I kept getting stuck in fucking places. Arthur felt like I was controlling a goddamn mongoloid. It was just really, really annoying. And I don't know why we keep letting Rockstar get away with this. They have no excuse. They have butt-fuck tons of money. Butt-fuck tons of investors. Their games constantly sell. They have no excuse. They could even hire a third party to come in and develop their gameplay for them and help fix the gunplay, but they just choose not to. So I have to, honestly shit on that. That was the most annoying parts of the game. I mean, at least they gave you the option to turn off the aim assist and play in first person. Literally, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have beaten the game. That's how bad the gameplay is. Like, I'm just going to be straight up. I think the gameplay's fucking trash. And another thing, the hunting is shit. I've never even engaged in the hunting or the fishing. And you know what? That's why I'm not complaining about it as much, because I just ignored it. If it's something you can just ignore, I don't think it's a problem in the game. I think it's a feature. So while I don't think it's implemented properly, like the stupid, oh, certain skins aren't as good as others is fucking retarded. Oh my god, what were they thinking with that shit? And then, like, having the hunting be overly complicated and difficult if you want to do it 100% right, fuck that. I'm not about that life, but it doesn't really detract from the game, because you could ignore it, like I said. Now, there are some items that are attached to those things, but ultimately, you aren't going to need anything. Like, in all honesty, guys, because the gameplay is so easy, upgrades aren't almost necessary at times. You almost do it just for the sake of it. But all in all, guys, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a fantastic game. I just feel like it's like really amazing milestones, right? Really amazing content that is just held back by mediocre fucking shit gameplay, but it's still worth the buy, is the thing. That's how incredible, like, the high highs in this game do outweigh the low lows, but there are low lows that are present, which there shouldn't be. It feels like a lot of the things that are a low low in this game could have been fixed or adjusted or tweaked in some way. Like, for example, why the fuck do my guns keep unequipping, and why do you keep taking from them from me in missions? Why does that happen? There's no reason for it. There really is no reason for it. It's I guess it's immersive, question mark, but at the same time, why do I sometimes have to equip my guns, and why do sometimes I don't? Like, sometimes I'll get off my horse and all my rifles will just fucking stay there, but sometimes I'll get off my horse and all my rifles will be on my body. And I don't understand how the mechanic works. And I think what it is like, if you could see it in third person, like the rifles are probably on your back when they're physically on you. But in first person, I can't fucking tell. So I just jump right off my horse, not knowing I don't have my rifles equipped. And then I'm stuck with my fucking pistol trying to snipe people at long range because the game fucking is ridiculous. So, like, just quality of life issues and some strange bugs and just the tedium of some of the tasks are the only real gripes I have about Red Dead Redemption 2. And it does keep it from being the perfect game. And the reason I'm frustrated with these negatives is because I think this game is close to perfect. It is close. It is, like, everything else about this game, aside from the gameplay and quality of life issues, is outstanding and is something that every gamer should experience. So that's what I'm going to leave you with Red Dead Redemption 2. No review scores because I'm not a pussy. Like, literally just take into account what I said and make a decision based on that if you're trying to, use this as a fence buster for, whether or not you should buy the game. And you should. It is a milestone of a game. If you're into open world games, this is one of the best open world games of all time, but the gameplay is kind of meh. It's just forgettable. The gameplay is the most forgettable part of the game as to what is a very memorable game. That's it, guys. This is Violent Games signing off.